final scene for this evening. This is K2. We're doing a small scene from it. As the scene opens, the two main characters have just survived an avalanche. And they're stuck on the side of this mountain on a platform that's 4 foot by 8 foot. This is the sign right here. The character Chris has suffered a broken leg in the fall. The character of Chris is a physicist played by Gina Kinnaid. And the part of Nat, who is determined to get her and her friend off the mountain, is a district attorney, and it's played by Kathy Kinnaid. So K2.
Death is my job. It's what I'm paid for. Every day I go into court and put at least a couple of lousy scum on ice. I salt their tails for 2, 5, 10, 20 years out of whack. Chris, do you have any idea what kind of a dent 20 years of prison puts into a man's life? I usually don't get to kill them all at once, but I take chunks out of the scum. I take as big a chunk as I can get, and I think about it all the time.
Never realized you were so possessed.
Possessed? Yeah. Well, I try to keep it to myself. I know I wouldn't get much sympathy from our hip young friends, or I'd have a coronary if you knew what I thought of as do-gooder horse crap. You don't know what it's like. Day in, day out, the arrest jackets. You wouldn't believe the things some people would do to others. And I gotta see the slimy bastards all spruced up in court trying to slide out of it. It's worse than being a cop.
Yeah, I never really thought about it before. I guess your job is pretty unpleasant.
Listen, you don't know what's going on all around you every day while you sleep, make love with Harold, eat Chinese, and play with atoms at the Lawrence Radiation Center. All around you every day. If you had any idea what's really going on out there, you'd be so scared you'd die. There's a war going on down there, and the barbarians are winning. They're kicking our civilized asses all over the streets. You know that out of every 10 faces I prosecute, 1 is white, 2 are brown, and the other 7 are black? What does that tell you?
What do you think it tells me?
I'm asking.
It's not a tough one to read, Nat. We're a racist society.
A racist society. That's just the kind of self-consciously hip answer I would expect from a white middle-class liberal. I'm not talking about moral culpability, you frickin' clown. I'm talking about what is. I'm talking about what's going on. You think making the free lunch a little bigger and better is some kind of real swell humanitarian act? Let me tell you what your bigger and better free lunch has produced. It's produced a black male, average age 13 to 25, average weight 130 to 220 pounds, with the reflexes of a rattler, the strength of a rhino, and the compassion of a pit bull. He'll rip off you and your grandma before you can count to 1, and he'll take it all. Your clothes, your money, both of them. And he'll take her false teeth. That's what happens when you take away somebody's dignity and try and make it up to him by giving him a free bag of groceries and a place to sleep. And I put him away every day. I make sure they get their 3 squares and a place to flop behind some 50-foot walls with gun towers up top. That's what you pay me to do, and I do it extremely well. I do it to clean up after all you Pollyanna jerks. I do it for you and Harold, Chris. I do it to protect and serve what little of our society is left.
You don't do it for me.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. You'd just rather not know about it.
You're a Quinn Martin production. You know that? I had no idea you were so consumed by such a tragical, romantical worldview. And I put him away every day. Well, hey, let me tell you something.
Why don't you just rest a while?
Let me tell you who you really do it for. You do it for the gadgets. You do it for the gadgets so all the little gadgets can live and prosper. It's all about the gizmo, pal. We are only here. Our only purpose for existence at this point is to design, manufacture, sell, transport, dismantle, reassemble.
Why don't you just rest a while?
Well, hey, looky here at this little gizmo. What's this dang thing? Think I'll tinker with it here a while this afternoon. What's that? You say it's time to die? Well, I'll be darned. Time sure flies when you're having gizmo fun.
Where do you get this?
I get it from the Gizmo King, same place you do. And they get it from the doodad barons before them, all the way back into the dirty gadget people living in pre-industrial filth in Eastern Europe. We're the culmination of a long line, the quintessence of gizmo consciousness.
You're the quintessence of horse crap.
No, we got a zillion different things to keep your mind off the fact that it's all getting too big, too fast. You think I'm some sort of doomsday sci-fi freak who slipped over the edge, don't you? Whereas you're the real thing, huh? A real blood and guts individualist? Well, let me ask you one question, Miss Disillusioned District Attorney. You were given the choice of developing a bomb that would blow away all things you know, houses, cars, machines, etc., and leave the people. Or developing a bomb that would blow away all the people and leave all the things. Which would you choose? That's not so hard, is it? Well, is it?
The neutron bomb, right?
Very good, Nat. I worked at the Lawrence Bragg lab, remember? We developed the neutron bomb. Do you know what the neutron bomb is, huh? The neutron bomb is the protector and sustainer of all gadgets. The one designed to decimate all life without so much as scratching any of the precious gizmos crammed on our Earth. Listen, we can drop you in your tracks without so much as altering the flesh tones of your Sony Trinitron. That's real. And you putting away a few gadget-stealing niggers who can't afford to buy their gizmos from the Gizmo Kings, and then put them in prison where the doodad barons can sell more gadgets to keep them down. It's all part of the Gizmo plan, baby. It's all part of the Gizmo plan.
Chris, you are totally nuts.
Yeah? And you're just an old-fashioned romantic.
Right. I spend my life in the sewer of our criminal justice system hopping from one turd to another, and I'm a romantic?
You take our present situation.
No, you take our present situation.
You try and climb up an ice wall to pull down a rope that was tied up to two Locky D's, attached to two tube screws, firmly sunk in rock-solid ice.
Do you have any better ideas?
And now big, strong Nat is just gonna yank it free with one hand while clinging for dear life to some half-ass driven ice screw with the other.
So give me a better suggestion. Give me a better suggestion.
I already have.
Oh, crap, Chris. And you got the gall to call me a romantic? You and your gizmo theory both belong in Disneyland.
You're missing an increasingly obvious fact in your situational analysis. Real obvious.
Oh, pray tell, and what might that be, a wise and wonderful one?
I can't tell you. You have to see it for yourself.
Oh, okay. Is it bigger than a bread box?
Yes.
Chris, right now I don't feel like playing 20 questions. I'm going back on the wall to try and get the rope because it's the only thing I can think of to get us off this mountain. Now, if you have any helpful suggestions, just say so!
Take the nylon tubing with you and tie it to the rope. Then come back down to the ledge and we can both pull on it from a secure position.
Very good idea. Thank you. This isn't bigger than a bread box.
No, but you're very close.
You're nuts, girl. So nuts. Let's see. When we last left young Chris, she had found the solace of a mustard seed and always peachy keen for the type. So, tell me what happened after you discovered Blind Faith.
I played their album day and night.
Come on, Chris. Do your bit, huh? Let's hear the next installment of the Adam Cracker Suite.
Right. It came from the heart. Blind faith.
Good. That's very good.
From something the heart knew. What did the heart know, I wondered? And as I wondered, I realized my mind was not in this with me. My whiz-bang, wonderful mind really did not want to know. I started hanging out in coffee houses, drinking mulled wine. I stumbled around the lab with warm sangria hangovers. The other researchers avoided my hideous breath. I was alone. Then one night, just as my head was about to hit the simulated oak table at Jack in the Box, big Harold E. appeared in my life.
Oh, crap, Chris. Is this going to be a love story?
Yep. I was in love, and I didn't care about figuring out a thing for the first time in my life. I didn't have to have it all make sense, have it all fit. I wonder what he's doing right now. It's about 1 p.m. Pakistani time, 12 hours different. He's probably feeding Piggy Boy right now. If you think I'm a pig, you should see Eric chow down.
I've seen it. It's a sight I'll never forget.
That little piggy is probably stuffing his fat little face at this very moment.
Well, you got the kid in it now, too, Chris. This love story's getting a little sappy.
Ah, yes, Sappy. You have met my child. It was close when he was born. It was really close. We both almost died. My water broke before I went into labor, and I got an infection, and Eric got an infection. He was coming out all upside down, and months of Le Mans training was shot to hell. He finally gave me a C-section to get him out. That experience changed something for me, you know? It really changed something. For the first time in my life, I prayed. futility in every word. Dear God, oh please, God, please. And I knew it was hopeless. It was all so much bigger than what I wanted, so very much bigger than my desires. But I wanted my son, and I prayed, even though I knew it was futile, even though I knew I couldn't change a thing. I said, please, God.
I got the rope. Tie the nylon tubing off to it.
God answered me. He answered me with the only answer he's got. And I felt the fabric for the first time. I felt the cloth come up in me, and my knees didn't end at the floor, and my hands didn't end at the rail. I went on and on through the tile and the walls, up the steel, through the sheets and the blood, and I was in my son. And I would never leave him again. Ever. Ever. Never again. Never again. If I covered his body with my white sheet face, if I wheeled him along on my stainless steel legs, if I held him alone in my stone-cold embrace, I would never.
So, you and the kid made it through all right, and now you're living happily ever after with mortgages, college funds, and baby cribs, right? Chris? Chris, are you all right? Here, it's okay. Just breathe slowly. You need something to eat. We both need something to eat. I'll get the meat bars.
Good idea. So you have them occasionally.
What?
Great moments.
Thanks. Here. You okay? Okay. Chow City. We'll brace ourselves against the wall as well as we can and pull on a 4 count. You know, Chris, as love stories go, yours is a pretty nice one. I could never love like you and Harold. I watch you two and you almost make me sick with your exclusiveness. Like your own little world that nobody else can comprehend. I peer in and you look like one of those couples on a pink Valentine hands card, the diamond ring. My relationships with men are battles, wars, cold and simple. A good willful struggle over a couple of drinks. That's my idea of a good relationship.
You're such a player.
Oh, I know. It gets me laid a lot. I can drop into any singles bar in San Francisco, establish myself as a resident flirt with a few suggestive remarks, and in seconds be surrounded by young studs ready to do battle, and ready ultimately to bend their buff bodies around my sensual reasoning. It's a gas. I guess I'm kind of your thinking woman's Victoria Holt.
Aren't you lovely?
Of course I'm lonely. Man, Chris, what kind of question is that? Who do you know that isn't lonely besides you and the other sappy couples like you who have given your hearts away to each other for safekeeping? Do you feel good now, walking hand in hand on the sunny beach? I see ya. You feel just wonderful dancing the night away. But wait till he goes and takes your heart, or you go and take his. You and Eric made it through. You made it. But someday somebody's going to leave, and I don't want to hear about it. I'd go through any hell before I'd go through that. And I pick men who feel the same way. We lash out at each other's bodies and minds to relieve the frustration and anger that it costs so much. Love costs too much. It's way overpriced. But I'll tell ya, stirring his juices with rage sure makes it incredible. I got to admit, I'm addicted.
It's called rape.
Yeah, but we agree on it over a couple of margaritas. We both contract for and get our own brand of relief.
You bore me with your fear. You always have.
Chris, I know what you're trying to do.